All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We are gearing up for an absolutely epic road trip through Australia's ultimate wild frontier today. We're breaking down the 2027 Pajinka adventure. And look, if you're wondering what the absolute best way to accomplish the massive bucket list goal of reaching the northernmost tip of Australia is, well, it's this comprehensive 14-day tour. So get comfortable, because we're going for quite the ride.
Okay, I want you to imagine the pinnacle of outback exploration. What exactly comes to mind? Is it dusty red roads, untamed river crossings? For a whole lot of Australians, and pretty much any serious four-wheel drive enthusiast, there is really only one undeniable answer to that question. It's conquering Cape York. Let's dive right into this. Now, reaching Pajinka, which is the traditional name for the tip of Cape York, isn't just some casual weekend drive. It is an exclusive, annual, bucket list event. It's this incredible yearly tradition that brings together four-wheel drive lovers, outback storytellers, and everyday Aussies with one singular goal: to stand right there, at the very edge of the continent, right by that famous sign. To really put this into perspective, we're talking about 1,600 kilometers, and that is each way. This isn't a quick getaway. This is a massive, comprehensive expedition across some of the most remote, rugged dirt in the world. It takes serious planning, a deep respect for the environment, and a real thirst for adventure. All right, Section 1, the ultimate Aussie pilgrimage, a 14-day journey to the top. Let's walk through the route. The timeline here perfectly shows why a 14-day trip is the absolute sweet spot. You roll out of Cairns on day 1, and you spend the next week pushing north through Waipa. By day 8, boom, you summit Pajinka. But here's the kicker. You don't just turn around and sprint back. You take 6 days to cruise south, exploring historic Cooktown and the ancient Daintree rainforest, before getting back to Cairns. 8 days up, 6 days back. It's perfectly paced so you experience the whole shebang without needing a vacation from your vacation. And that pacing is exactly why they call this a pilgrimage. For the 2027 edition, you'd be rolling with the Patrick James 4WD crew. These guys are 9-time Cape York adventurers. Joining a crew with that much experience, it adds this incredible layer of safety for sure, but also unbelievable camaraderie. You're not just driving, you're celebrating mateship, country, and the true spirit of the Australian outback. Moving right along. Section 2. Tackling the Telegraph Track, the ascent through the outback. Okay, so this is literally what 4WD dreams are made of, the old telegraph track, or the OTT. It follows the original telegraph line right through the peninsula. It's this legendary, rough playground that you can only tackle in the dry season. But here's the brilliant part. The tour specifically targets the safe, low-risk sections of the track. You get all the fun of deep sand and low-level creek crossings, but without the heart-stopping risk of totally destroying your rig by going it alone. I want you to just imagine gripping the steering wheel right now. You're navigating the steep drops of Palm Creek. You're tackling the infamous Gunshot Creek, splashing through the crystal waters of Cockatoo Creek, taking on Nolans, and finally rolling onto the Jardine River Ferry. It is an absolute rite of passage for any off-road enthusiast. Up next, Section 3, Pajinka and Wow Moments, reaching the summit. This is the big emotional payoff right here. Reaching that famous wooden sign and snapping the iconic Pajinka photo. It's the climax of the whole northern push. Standing at the northernmost point of mainland Australia, that is a massive bucket list achievement, and capturing that moment with your convoy surrounding you is a memory that'll last a lifetime. But honestly, the summit experience is about so much more than just a sign. The itinerary is packed with what they literally call wow moments. You're swimming in the crystal-clear, spring-fed pools of Fruitbat, Elliott, and Twin Falls. You're exploring ancient Aboriginal rock and cave art, connecting with the deep cultural history of the Gugu Yimithir and Dabugai peoples. Add in the powerful Wudjal Falls and uncovering hidden World War II sites. It's just a deeply enriching historical experience. All right, Section 4, Wild Frontiers and Rare Wildlife, Australia's last wilderness. Because we're traveling just after the wet season, the landscape is lush, green, and completely bursting with life. We're talking palm cockatoos doing their unique drumming courtship rituals. We're talking safe, guided spotting of massive estuarine crocodiles. And if you're lucky, you might spot the elusive green python, this absolute emerald jewel of the Iron Range, or the endangered golden-shouldered parrot at Artemis Station. Plus, the air is just filled with giant stick insects and bright blue Ulysses butterflies.
To quote the source directly, you'll witness wildlife found nowhere else on Earth. Now, the organizers never overpromise, because, well, nature is completely wild and unpredictable. But honestly, those spontaneous, rare encounters, that's the true magic of the Cape. Every single trip is a totally unique experience.
Section 5, The Triumphant Journey Home. 6 days of celebration. Let's contrast the journey up with the journey back down. On the ascent, we're all about the dusty, inland thrills of the old telegraph track. But coming back, we hit the Bloomfield track. This is a 100-kilometer stretch that is totally different. You've got rugged terrain with pristine coastal views on one side and ancient, prehistoric rainforest on the other. It is an intensely visual, absolutely stunning drive. So the crucial point here is that this 6-day return trip isn't just a commute home. It is a victory lap. You're toasting your massive achievement at the legendary Lion's Den pub. You're exploring the 1885 history of Cooktown. You tackle the Bloomfield track, cruise the Daintree River to spot some crocs, and then finally roll into the official Cairns after-party. It turns a simple drive home into an ongoing celebration of the friendships you forged on the road. Finally, Section 6, Joining the 2027 Adventure. How to make it happen. The organizers offer 2 main ways to jump in, so everyone is covered. If you don't own an off-roader, no stress at all. You can just buy a seat in one of their modern, fully equipped safari-ready 4WDs. But if you're a seasoned enthusiast with your own rig, you can choose the tag-along option and drive your very own 4W right there in the convoy. And hey, don't worry about roughing it at mealtime. The tour includes daily breakfasts and hearty dinners that the kitchen crew proudly calls gourmet camping meals. They cater to most diets, and trust me, this goes way, way beyond your standard camp tucker. As for sleeping, it's a really great mix. You get 7 nights of camping, and yes, a spacious tent and air mattress are supplied, plus 7 nights in shared rooms. Those rooms range from classic outback dongas to comfy motel-style spots. And if you're someone who really values their privacy, there's a $700 single upgrade available so you can get your own room. Let's rapidly run through a few final practicalities. Travel insurance is mandatory, usually sits around $200. Once you book, you'll get a tour number within 3 days. Definitely wait for that email before booking any flights. The team can help with transport to Cairns, and of course, there's official tour merch, where you can even get custom shirts made for your specific vehicle crew. Because this is a highly sought-after, heavily advertised annual event, places are super limited. Preparation is absolutely key. So the only question left to ask yourself after reviewing this 14-day explainer is this: will you answer the call? Are you going to be part of the legend and stand at the edge of the continent in 2027? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.